Temu has sent me another package. In here are a bunch of model aircraft, like an Airbus A380, Antonov AN-225 and the Concorde. Let's not wait any longer and unbox this. First, let's take a quick look at all of the products. Starting with an Air France Concorde, a aircraft model which should be a KLM 747 in the 1-400 scale. Another one which should be a 787, and this should be a 737. This should be an Airbus A380. Something with Lufthansa should be in this box. A 747 is in here. Another 747 should be in here. Here we have an airport runway which we can use to display the models. The model I'm most looking forward to, the Antonov AN-225, A377 and another Concorde. And finally I have a very cool display stand which I'm going to use to show you all of the models. And that is all. First, let's start off with the AN-225, the model I am most looking forward to. And here we have it out of the box. The aircraft is absolutely huge and its landing gear comes in a plastic bag on the side which we'll need to install, I think. And here is the actual model. It is made out of plastic and it doesn't have the actual details like a Gemini Jets aircraft does, but I'm very happy with the looks of the model. And installing the landing gear is very easy plug and play. You just push it into the bottom of the aircraft and you're there. This huge aircraft has got so many landing gear, it's insane. So there we have it with the landing gear installed. It's pretty toy-like because I'm sure you can just push and drive it around without any issue. Though it does look realistic and I think it very nicely fits on my model airport. It has got all of the decals installed. With the AN-225 also came this aircraft stand, which I think you can just simply click on like so, and then you can display it anywhere else. An absolutely lovely model to begin with. This video is sponsored by Temu. They provided the model aircraft for me and they have got a very cool deal for you. If you download the Temu app through the link below, you get a €100 coupon bundle for free, or by searching up this code in this Temu search bar you can claim this coupon. Additionally, for new Temu app users, you can download the Temu app through the link below and purchase one of my Temu picks that I used in this video for under €1. Up next, going to another very highly anticipated model, the Concorde. And there we have it in the British Airways colors, a lovely model aircraft. This model is made out of metal and on the underside you only have the ability to install an aircraft stand and no landing gear. It looks lovely and detailed. It's got all of the windows and the livery of British Airways on there, and the texture on the wings also looks great. Here it is on its stand and it looks awesome. It's a very cool model, though it's a shame I cannot put it on my model airport because I'll need to add landing gear myself. But a very cool model nonetheless. Moving on to the big pile, here on the left we'll take a 737 in the 1-400 scale, it says on the box. Okay, 1-400 scale 737. Here we have it. It's a Boeing 737 in the Fly Dubai colors. I really much like the color variation on the aircraft's tail. It looks very colorful. Though it's said to be a Boeing 737, the mold of it doesn't really look like one, and the wings don't either. In the bottom of the aircraft you have the ability to put an aircraft stand once again, but no landing gear. And here we have it on its stand. It looks nice but nothing special. The mold isn't great and it's definitely not 1-400 scale. Here I have a 1-400 scale Ryanair aircraft, which in comparison to the Fly Dubai aircraft is quite a bit smaller. So in terms of scale and quality, this isn't the best, though the colors look nice and it's a cool model to display. Let's take a look at another 1-400 scale said to be aircraft. Now we have a Boeing 787 Dreamliner and it seems to be in the Gulf Air colors. And I just broke its horizontal stabilizer. I think I can just click it back in. though I will need to use some glue to fix it good. About the livery, I really like the colors of Gulf Air as well. The golden looks very royal to me. The mod of the 787 isn't too bad, and when you compare the Gulf Air aircraft to an actual 1:400 scale aircraft, the scale is actually pretty good. Though this one also doesn't come with landing gear and it misses some of the details, like for example at the back of the engine, the bottom 787 looks much different than the top. Up next we take a look at one of the cardboard boxes. It says 747 on here. And here we have the Air Force One 747. The mold is very toy-like, and it doesn't at all look at a 747 which you would get from, for example, Gemini jets. Though the livery looks good, with the United States of America on the side and the American flag on the tail. The model only comes with an aircraft stand once again, so I cannot actually put it on my model airport, which is a shame. When I put the model on the aircraft stand, it looks really nice, and it's a cool aircraft to have standing on your desk, for example. Though for an actual model airport, it's a budget-friendly, though not a really detailed and realistic aircraft. In the next cardboard box there should be another Boeing 747, which there is in this case in the Delta colors. The mold is exactly the same as the one of Air Force One, which doesn't really look like a 747. The top layer is way too long, though the livery once again looks pretty okay. It has got the Delta colors on the tail and the Delta logo on the front with all of the windows. It doesn't have any antennas or anything extremely detailed, but you don't expect that from this model, of course. This one once again only comes with an aircraft stand, which means once again it's a cool model to display, but to put on your model airport I would not recommend it. Next we have this other box in which is a Concorde once again. When we open it we see that it has the Air France colors. It is once again a metal model, and I think the mold is the same from the British Airways that we just saw. Though the engines of the Air France look much better. They are very nicely detailed and actually look quite realistic. The livery also looks very recognizable and good, and they even tried to put antennas on top of the model, which is a cool detail. Though the Concorde once again doesn't come with actual landing gear, but only with this aircraft stand, so you can put it on your desk, which looks very lovely. Though to add it on your model airport you first will need to add some kind of landing gear yourself, which I might try in a later video. We have 4 more aircraft left, and I will continue with opening this cardboard box, in which is actually another box with an aircraft model, it says. It has got the Airbus A380 on the front of the box, and it says open right here, and if we do so, we pull out an Airbus A380 in the Emirates colors. And here we have the A380. In terms of size, the Temu A380 is a lot smaller than the Gemini Jet's Airbus A380. The livery looks pretty okay, and the overall mold with the wings looks moi. Of course you do recognize it's an Airbus A380, but it isn't as detailed as the actual A380 from Gemini jets. And a big shame is that the size is just way too small. Once again on the bottom we only have space for an aircraft stand. I had higher expectations from this Airbus A380, though it is what it is, and we'll move on to the next aircraft, which is once again an Airbus A380. In the same box as the Emirates A380, though in this case we have it in the Lufthansa colors. In terms of size and detail of the aircraft mold, it's exactly the same aircraft as the previous Emirates one. The livery on there looks a bit more detailed than the Emirates aircraft, as it's actually got the Star Alliance logo at the nose of the aircraft, and it has got very small letters with Airbus A380 here on the nose as well. Unfortunately, no landing gear once again, so we'll have to do it with the aircraft stand. And that makes an Airbus A380 lineup. Now we have 2 more boxes left, with a 747 from KLM and a 777. We'll start off with the 777, which is said to be a 1:400 scale aircraft, and it is in the Air Canada colors. And to check how good the Air Canada model is, we'll just compare it with a Dragon Wings Air Canada Boeing 777-300. In terms of size, it's once again quite a bit smaller than the actual Boeing 777. And the color of the Air Canada is not very nice. You can see that the Temu Air Canada is way more blue than the actual Air Canada. I'm not sure how accurate the Dragon Wings Air Canada is in terms of color, though I think the Temu aircraft is way too blue. For the rest, the livery looks nice. It's got the Air Canada logo on the tail, and it's also got the Star Alliance logo on the nose once again behind the cockpit windows. Now unfortunately we only have an aircraft stand for this model once again, meaning displaying it on the airport will be hard. And moving on to the final aircraft model in this video is this KLM Boeing 747. And also from this model I honestly expected a bit more. The livery is way too blue to be an actual KLM aircraft, and the bottom is very grey. I think it's too grey. The detail on the livery looks cool. There is a SkyTeam logo behind the cockpit windows. Behind the registration is the Dutch and EU flag. The mold is exactly the same as the other 747s I already unboxed. And unfortunately the color isn't too good. And here we have an overview of all the models that I got. The best model for sure being this Antonov AN-225. And for the rest a bunch of other aircraft models that look kind of good. Especially the Concordes, they look nice, though from the other models I expected a bit more. They all don't have landing gear and the mold of the models doesn't look too realistic. And the aircraft scale also isn't actual 1:400 scale. Some are much bigger like the Fly Dubai 737 and some aircraft models are way too small like the Airbus A380. Now there are two more items that I will unbox. First of all, this display turntable. A very cool product that I'm going to use to display my new models. On the back it has two buttons to turn it left hand or right hand, and by the click of a button the thing changes direction. And the final item is this miniature runway, which can also be used to display models. It is plastic material and the display actually feels quite nice in terms of quality. I think it's pretty long lasting. The runway width is not very much, meaning a 737 fits, though when you try fitting on an Airbus A380 you will have a tough time taking off because it's way too big for the runway. Though it's a cool item to display any smaller models in the 1:400 scale or any model in the 1:500 scale. And that rounds it up for this video. Let me know which of these models is your favorite. Be sure to check out the links in the description to Temu. And I would like to thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please consider to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.